Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be touring the ultimate island base starter base. The ultimate starter island base. Let's get into it. Alright, let's get started with the tour here on the docks. This is an island base, so after a long journey, you would be coming back here and parking at the docks. This would be the first thing that you see. Now, I did want to point out the theme I used for the docks. I think it turned out really cool. We've got kind of the regular docks out here in the water with kind of like some core wood poles supporting, and then in the back you can connect those two docks with a path, and I decided to do that with a really cool like curvy path with 1 meter poles and beams as the handrails. I love how that came out. But yeah, first things first, when you get into the house, you have what I consider to be the most important area in a kind of starter base, or really any base, which is the cooking area. Food is so important. So first things first, you're going to find these stone ovens here, some extra details on the side, butcher's table, chopping block to seem like maybe you could chop up some meat there. So that's really just your stone oven area. And then over here you have all the rest of the cooking. You've got some extra wood here for the fire. You've got the smoke venting out the ceiling. Now, admittedly, it doesn't really vent out. I don't know what's going on with that. Bruh. But either way, I think this looks really cool with a square roof on top of a circular roof. And I really like how this building came out overall. Really nice and open, cool looking outdoor kitchen. Now, as you go inside, you've really got kind of two things to talk about. You've got the inner circle. This is where you would do all of your cooking. You know, it's open on this side so that you could do some easy access cooking, and over here it's open next to the butcher's table to look like you might be cutting up some stuff. But also we could talk about the outer ring of stone. Over here we've got some food that you could quickly grab on the go, or you could just leave it there for decoration. We've got more decorations here for a food environment, a bench to sit and wait for your food to cook, and of course some storage here as well for all of your food. Now over here we've got kind of the last bit of food with honey. This is, you know, your passive honey here.
Wait a minute.
Your passive food here, which would be honey, and you could put that in your chests right over there. Also, we have windmills here, which admittedly you probably wouldn't really need in a starter base, but I thought it was kind of cool to include them in this cute little area here, along with a bench and some bushes and some rocks that you can see I kind of just worked around, just kind of left them where they were. Back here in the back, we have a secondary dock in case you want to come in from the back of your island. And now before we head inside, I do want to show you guys the porch. We've got a couple different seating areas on the porch, but what's cool about this porch is this right here, this little vent. Now, initially, you could see the roof came down really far and you couldn't really see out of the porch. This was the gap, and it went all the way across. It was a tiny little gap, and the reason why I couldn't raise the roof is because I didn't want to block the details on the second floor. So what I decided to do was just open up the roof, which I think turned out really nice. You could use this on a main roof as well. And yeah, I don't know, definitely going to be using that again in the future. That's the first time I've ever done that, and I think it worked out pretty cool. So yeah, welcome to the actual house. First things first, you're going to see we've got some storage on the side. This is going to be so you can offload everything from the boats here, and then you can kind of sort it out later on. Over here, we've got our forge setup. We've got our crafting workbench setup, and we also have your cartography setup to log your new lands that you have discovered. This all, to me, is all the primary tasks in Valheim, including the cooking. So that's why all of this is what you see first when you get off your boat and you return to your island. Some people wouldn't agree with the cartography table, but I do think it's really nice to have this here because it's really out of the way anyway here under the stairs, and I think it's nice to go ahead and log that every time when you get back so that everybody else can enjoy your new discoveries. So let's talk a little more about this room. We've got the forging area, which is pretty sweet, working with the chimney, which I have not shown you guys yet. So the chimney is pretty cool. I like to use the full stone hearth in the bottom of a chimney, which gives you a lot of options. It makes you have to make a really wide chimney, so then you can come in and in and in, and each time create more character with your chimney. You can even add a little vent here on the top, which does actually work. Pretty cool design here. Love how that came out. If you want to see the first time I did that, you can check out the last video I put out with the cozy water wheel house in the woods. That was the first time that I came up with this kind of design. But yeah, the forge table setup's pretty sweet. You've got some storage and all of your forging needs. Over here we've got workbench, storage, and all of your workbench needs. And what's really cool about this space is how I separated this room. This was really just a big open room, and all I did was add 1, 2, 3 pieces of stone, 1, 2, 3 pieces of stone, and that is actually it. I mean, that's it. You can see I reinforced that though by kind of adding in some armor stands here, which adds a little bit of a wall almost. And then over here I added a little bit of a wall by using benches as shelves, and those, it just kind of, you know, separates the space. You don't really need full walls most of the time. Now the benches, admittedly, if you look really close, kind of look terrible. But if you don't look really close and you're just walking by, you can actually place item stands on them. I think they look pretty cool, and as long as you end cap it, I think it actually looks pretty sweet. So the final thing in this room is the rugs. You can see I also use the rugs to separate the spaces. So I use Locks rugs here, Locks rugs there. I used a different rug in the middle, and then for the entrances I used the deer pelts, and even over here I used the red rug. So, you know, there's just a lot of different ways that you can separate spaces. I even used the stone arches on the ceiling to add a little detail to the ceiling. Now we can head upstairs. Downstairs we kind of had all the primary tasks, so once you get up here it's more like secondary tasks. So sleeping I consider a secondary task because you really only have to do that once a day. You've got some extra storage here. You've got a little bit of like a living room here. I use the same technique as downstairs. We've got little simple pieces of stone and rugs to separate this space from the rest of the room and to really kind of make it feel a little bit cozy. We've got a desk here by the window with a view. You can hang out by the fire and get warm. A little trophy shelf over here on the wall. This is pretty cool. Female, male, and elite Draugr trophies. That made a really cool little display. And yeah. Back behind me we have the loft. The loft gives you access out onto the deck, which is a really sweet place to hang out. There's some food here, some tankards in case you want to have some company come out there and hang out on the deck. You've got a little desk here with some storage, and the loft is really just storage. I added some seating to make it a little more useful, but really you can see I've got 1 chest, 2 chests, 3, 4, 5 chests. It's really just for some extra storage. It's carpeted to make it feel cozy. Maybe you could sit here and put your feet up and, you know, hang out in the breeze. This would definitely be pretty drafty up here with all these openings on the roof. But yeah, so the loft is really mainly just more storage. Now let's head up into the tower. You'll see in the tower all of the windows are actually iron gates, so they are fully functional. Now the tower is kind of like the loft. It's not really the most functional thing. It's more of just a hangout and enjoy the awesome views. There is a chest up here. You could put some things up here, and maybe you could meet with your buddies here and like plan a journey somewhere. This would be a cool place to meet. But yeah, this is mainly just a fun little tower. You can see I did do a cool little kind of feature here for the brazier, but yeah, it's pretty simple up here at the top of the tower. So we'll head all the way back down, and now we can head out towards the workshop. There are wooden shutters here to kind of separate this a little bit, and wooden shutters here which are open as well. But over here I would consider this kind of the secondary tasks in Valheim. We did all the primary tasks, the cooking, the workbench, the forging. Over here this all is kind of secondary, so that's why I put it at the end. But you know, some people probably wouldn't agree. Let me know in the comments what you think is primary and secondary tasks. But as you come over here, the first thing I've included is a lot of storage for all of your different like iron, bronze, all that type of stuff that all can hang out in these chests here. You've got an artisan area where you've got extra storage. You've got a blast furnace area where you've got extra storage, a little rug to make it a little cozy. You do have access to the side of the blast furnace from here. And yeah, so this is really just a secondary kind of forging area. I feel like, you know, every once in a while you'd run across the bridge, put in a couple more things, and then run back and let them kind of just do their thing. So down here we have the mead area, pretty cool little display. Looks like you can kind of climb the ladder and look into those and get a little work done. Got a little displayed here area type of thing. Mead rack, I don't know what I'm saying. But mead rack, I don't know, pretty much just a place to display your mead. Maybe you could like serve some up in one of these like little tankards here. We've got some decorations on the walls, some more storage. We've got a lot of storage over here in the secondary workshop, just to make sure you can store all those metals and ores and things like that. More decorations on the wall, more storage, and then over here I had some open space under the stairs, so I filled it with some armor stands. Alright, that is that for the Ultimate Island Starter Base. We've got our dock leading to our primary tasks, leading to our secondary tasks. I don't know, I love the format of this base. I love everything that is included. Let me know in the comments if you agree with the order I put everything in throughout the base. And yeah, more coming soon. Thank you guys very much for watching, and of course, as always, have a good one.